We have determined that the incident this morning at the Naval Air Station Corpus Christi is terrorism related.
Chilling words about the latest incident at NAS Corpus Christi. Around 6:15 a.m., the suspect tried driving onto the base. He then shot a security officer in the chest. That officer, a female sailor, was wearing body armor and suffered minor injuries. She was able to get the security barriers up, and when the armed man got out of his vehicle, base security shot and killed him. An eyewitness said the man's body was on the ground for some time and was inspected by a bomb disposal robot. The FBI is now leading the investigation.
We are working diligently with our state, local, and federal partners on this investigation, which is fluid and evolving.
That intruder has been identified as 20-year-old Adam Salim Al-Salih. The FBI says it's also looking for a second potential person of interest in this case.
It goes without saying that the Council on American Islamic Relations is an Islamic group that concerns itself with matters involving Muslims. But if you expect CAIR to get on TV and condemn this action, you would be mistaken. CAIR won't come anywhere near this story, because confronting violent Muslims just isn't what they do. Apparently, they consider their role in society to be condemning white people instead. Here is a recent example.
Welcome back. We're learning more about an alleged hate crime in Stevens Point, where police say the man accused tied his slurs to COVID-19. News 9's Tom Lally has the story.
The white man was arrested here in Stevens Point after police say he harassed and used racial slurs against Hmong people wearing face masks. It happened on May 12th at Save-A-Lot on Church Street, when a drunken 57-year-old named Robert Schroet saw Hmong people entering the store.
They were wearing masks because of the COVID to protect themselves while they were shopping in public.
The police report states Schroet, who is white, started to harass the shoppers using racial slurs. He later allegedly admitted targeting them for their race.
Basically blaming them for the reason why we were in the state of the pandemic that we are.
The department recommending charges worth up to a year in jail time. But this recent incident comes after several similar crimes across the country and here in Wisconsin. Acts of racism against Asian Americans have been reported at UW-Eau Claire. An Asian Markets van was graffitied in Green Bay, and there have been issues in Wausau. The latest incident in Stevens Point receiving national criticism from the Council on American Islamic Relations. The Stevens Point mayor says these actions will not be tolerated.
I give you my word that when we see or hear about these acts of hatred and bigotry and racism, that we will deal with them swiftly and justly.
Mayor Wiesa and the police department stressing the importance of reporting crimes like this.
In this story, Robert Schroet, a white man, had too much to drink and began verbally assaulting Hmong people, blaming them for the COVID epidemic. Police arrested, charged him, and both the police and mayor made a public statement. Point being, they are handling it. CAIR is irrelevant. This isn't a mistake or oversight on CAIR's part. During CAIR's recent Ramadan telethon, Ibrahim Hooper told us that he will use donations to pay for expensive databases.
As we try and be a voice for the mainstream American Muslim community. And to do that, we have to know what's going on. We have to monitor what's going on. We have to interject the American Muslim voice in issues of importance to all Americans. And it requires us to monitor all the various news sources that there are out there. We have databases and monitoring services, which, by the way, don't come cheap. So that's why we're having these telethons. For instance, if somebody says something against Islam in a small town in Kansas, we'll pick it up, inshallah, pretty quickly, and we can react to it in real time. We can, if it's a story that appeared on a local TV station in that area, our keyword search will pick it up. We'll be able to clip that segment. We'll be able to utilize it. We'll be able to respond to it within even minutes. This is something that's unheard of in the past, that we don't have that kind of on-the-ground intelligence about any potential Islamophobia or issues impacting American Muslims. And again, that's the kind of thing that doesn't come cheap. The databases, the monitoring services for these kinds of things cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And we put out more kinds of communications materials than organizations 10 times our size, alhamdulillah.
Please share with us a little bit about the valuable and expensive monitoring of the media that you do. And we'd also love to hear about the extensive media database that you work from.
We have a number of databases. We have Cision, we have Meltwater, we have TVIs, all of these. If people are in the public relations business, they're familiar with these, and they don't come cheap.
They monitor the media closely in order to respond to stories like the one in Stevens Point within minutes, while consciously ignoring stories about violent Muslims. Despite their obvious identity, consistently ignoring violent Muslims in this country while obsessing over the activities of white people is a well-observed pattern of the Council on American Islamic Relations.